Emily shivered. The old house loomed before her, dark and imposing. It was a Victorian mansion with gingerbread trim and a wraparound porch. But the paint was peeling, and the windows were boarded up. It looked like a haunted house in a movie. "This is our new home?" Emily asked, her voice barely a whisper. Her parents were already unloading boxes from the moving van. "It's got character," her dad said cheerfully. Emily wasn't so sure. She felt a cold shiver run down her spine as she walked up the creaking steps. The air grew colder as she stepped inside. The house smelled musty, like old books and dust. Cobwebs hung from every corner. Emily wandered through the dark rooms, her footsteps echoing in the silence. She had a bad feeling about this place. That night, Emily lay in bed, unable to sleep. The house creaked and groaned around her. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows. She felt like she was being watched. Then she heard it, a soft whisper coming from the wall. Emily sat up in bed, her heart pounding. She listened intently. "Help me," the whisper said. It was faint, but definitely there. Emily jumped out of bed and ran to her parents' room. "I heard a voice," she cried. Her parents exchanged a tired look. "It's just the old house settling," her mom said. "Go back to sleep, honey." But Emily knew what she had heard. Someone was trapped in the walls, and they were calling for help. The next day, Emily tried to find the source of the whisper. She checked the walls, the floors, even the attic, but she couldn't find anything. That night, she woke up suddenly. Something was different. She could feel it. She looked across the room and gasped. Two glowing eyes stared back at her from the shadows. Emily froze in terror. The eyes blinked, and then a low growl filled the room. Emily screamed. Her parents came rushing in, but the eyes were gone. "There's something in my room!" Emily cried. It had glowing eyes. Her parents searched the room, but they couldn't find anything. They told her it was just a nightmare. Emily didn't believe them. She knew something evil was in the house, and she was determined to find out what it was. She searched the house from top to bottom, looking for clues. Finally, she found a loose floorboard in the attic, pried it open. There, hidden beneath the floor, was a small wooden box. Emily reached inside and pulled out a leather-bound diary. As she opened the diary, a cold shiver ran down her spine. The words inside were written in a spidery handwriting, and the ink was faded with time. The diary told the story of a young girl who had lived in the house many years ago. She had been trapped in the walls by an evil spirit. Suddenly, the temperature in the attic plummeted. Emily felt a cold hand on her shoulder. She turned around slowly and gasped. Standing behind her was the ghostly figure of a young girl. Her eyes glowed with an eerie light. "You found my diary," the ghost whispered. "Now you will share my fate." Emily screamed as the ghost's cold hands reached out and pulled her into the darkness. The floorboard slammed shut above her, trapping her in the walls forever.